Hello to the brilliant students of Kanya Vedic Vidyalaya Intercollege. Think about the computers you use for your homework, for games, or to watch videos. They seem almost magical, don't they? But here is the secret. A computer has absolutely no brain of its own. It has no feelings, and it actually doesn't understand a single word of Hindi or English. So how does it solve your math problems so quickly? It all comes down to a simple three-step rhythm called the IPO cycle. You give the machine an input, it processes that information, and then it gives us an output. To make this happen, the computer relies on two things. First is the hardware, the physical parts like the keyboard and screen that you can actually touch. Second is the software, the invisible instructions and programs that act as the computer's mind. Without those invisible instructions, without us telling it what to do, all that fancy physical hardware is really just an empty shell waiting for a command. If this machine doesn't have eyes or ears, how do we get our thoughts inside it? We give it artificial senses, which we call input devices. When you type on a keyboard, you help the computer read text. When you move a mouse, you let it feel your clicks. We can even give it eyes using a scanner to pull in images, or ears using a microphone to record our voices. Every time you press a key or speak into a mic, you are feeding raw data into the machine. That action completes the first step of the cycle, the input. Once that data is inside, it travels straight to the computer's artificial brain, the central processing unit, or CPU. But the CPU doesn't see the letters or pictures you just sent. It only understands one specific code, binary language. That is a massive, continuous stream of just two numbers, 0 and 1. To bridge that gap, the computer uses internal translators. They break down your words, your clicks, and your images into millions of zeros and ones, so the CPU can actually read them. When we talk about processing, we are simply talking about the CPU calculating, sorting, and organizing all those binary digits at lightning speed. Today, that processing happens instantly inside a tiny chip, but it took humans a long time to figure out how to calculate things this quickly. Thousands of years ago, people tracked numbers by physically sliding beads on a wooden abacus. Fast forward to the 1830s, and a mathematician named Charles Babbage designed the first machine that could follow a programmed set of instructions, earning him the title Father of the Computer. By the 1940s, the first generation of true electronic computers arrived. They were massive machines that would easily fill an entire classroom at your school. These early models relied on bulky glass vacuum tubes to process data, which generated incredible amounts of heat. In the 1950s, the second generation arrived with a tiny device called the transistor. It replaced the fragile vacuum tubes and allowed computers to shrink drastically. Next came the third generation in the 1960s, integrated circuits, or ICs, which packed immense processing power onto a single small chip. This led directly to the fourth generation, microprocessors. This engineering breakthrough finally made computers small enough and cheap enough to sit on our personal desks. Today, we are living in the fifth generation, the era of artificial intelligence, where computers use massive amounts of data to simulate human thinking. India has been a major part of this story too. In 1991, Dr. Vijay P. Bhatkar led the team that architected India's first supercomputer, the Param 8000. When we talk about generations of computers, we're really just telling the story of engineers figuring out how to make hardware smaller and faster until it could eventually fit inside our pockets. Now, let's look at the end of the line. Once the CPU finishes sorting all those zeros and ones, it has a result, but it has to translate that binary code back into a language we can actually understand. It uses output devices to do this. The computer sends the final result to your monitor as video, to your printer as paper, or to your speakers as sound. Depending on the task, you might be getting that output from a small microcomputer like a smartphone, a larger mini-computer, a business mainframe, or a massive supercomputer used by scientists. No matter the size of the machine, that final output is the ultimate goal. It is the computer delivering the answer to the exact question we asked during the input phase. Computers have incredible superpowers. They work with blazing speed, calculate with perfect accuracy, and have massive storage memories to remember everything we tell them. But remember its greatest limitation. A computer has an IQ of exactly 0. These incredible machines are completely useless without brilliant humans to guide them. So, to the girls of Kanya Vedic Vidyalaya, keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep typing. You are the minds that will tell the machines what to do next.
धन्यवाद दोस्तों। इस वीडियो को देखने के लिए आपका दिल से शुक्रिया। अगर आपको यह वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो कृपया इसे लाइक करें, शेयर करें और हमारे YouTube चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना बिल्कुल न भूलें। आपका प्यार और समर्थन हमें ऐसे ही नए वीडियो बनाने की प्रेरणा देता है। फिर मिलेंगे एक और मज़ेदार वीडियो के साथ। तब तक के लिए नमस्कार।